SDM, Associate Professor Dr. Wei Jin Lin from National Sun Yat-sen University of Taiwan. Our distinguished guests, dear all participants, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, allow me on behalf of our rector, Professor Icecos, who is now attendant meeting in Jakarta, to express our warmest welcome to all participants of the Third International Conference on Electrical Engineering, Electronic and Computer Science called Icecos 2019 held in Batam during 2nd and 3rd October 2019. In this opportunity, I would like to express my profound gratitude and appreciate to all keynote speakers and all invited speakers and all presenters for your valuable and meaningful contribution to this conference, in particular from Japan, Malaysia, New Zealand, Taiwan, Pakistan, Brunei Darussalam, and of course from Indonesia itself. You are very, very important person. Without you here, this conference is nothing. So thank you very much. I would like also to express my thanks and highly appreciate to the organizing committee of this conference, in particular to Associate Professor Dr. Abu Bakar Siddiq as the chairman, and all staff members from Faculty of Engineering and Faculty of Computer Science who are organized, prepared, work hard, and has dedicated their valuable time to organize this prestigious international conference. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as we know that computer as well as electricity and electronic are some of the greatest technology or innovation of mankind and play important role in our daily life, as the most people continue to use them almost every day. They make our life easier and more comfortable. Computer provide opportunity for staying in touch to billions of people who may very well be in different parts of the world without even seeing them each other. We can talk to each other without meet face by face. It is a powerful instrument for entertainment, study, business, etc. Even however, nowadays, smartphone replacing computers more and more as they are much more complex and useful. I believe new technology, in my opinion, will replace them in the next 10 or 20 years. This is our challenge to create new advanced technology in the aspect of computer science. Electricity is the key component of modern technology, and without it, most of the things that we use every day simply could not work and would never have been created. Our mobile phone, computer, internet, heating system, air conditioning, television, radio, light bulb, they all cannot work without electricity. So it's very important for our life. I cannot imagine what happens if electricity is not working here in our room. the room become very hot, dark, and of course we cannot concentrate our paper. So electricity is energy of life. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I believe and feel confident that this conference will stimulate the discussion and share our experience about various topics related to computer, electricity, and electronic. And hopefully this conference will result many excellent ideas how to create our life is better and better and produce many papers published in international journal. I encourage all participants to participate actively in this conference over the next day. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you all an enjoyable time and success during this conference, and we always better life with new, creative, efficient, low cost, advanced, and high technology to create modern atmosphere now and in the future. I hope you also enjoy in the beauty city of Batam as one of the free tax islands at Indonesia. This city is excellent for shopping. So enjoy to spend your time for shopping. Don't worry, everything is available here and buy everything here. Finally, I declare the third International Conference on Electrical Engineering, Electronic and Computer Science, Icecos 2019 is officially open. May our God always guide and bless all of us. Amen. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
For the next, I would like to invite all of the keynote speakers and invited speakers, Professor Dr. Zainal Salam, Dr. Wahyu Kaisarendra, Professor Zen Kawasaki, Dr. Wei Ching Lim, Professor Dr. Razalina, Professor Dr. Siti Zaitun. Please proceed to the stage to receive souvenirs and have photographs. For Vice Rector and also for the chair, please proceed to the stage. And as the closing of this opening ceremony, I would like to invite all of the participants to forward to the stage to have the photographs. All of the participants. quickly let us say Alhamdulillah because the opening ceremony has been finished. Now, as we officially starting the third International Conference on Electrical Engineering and Computer Science 2019, we would like to continue our conference with the keynote speech. For the first keynote speaker, we would like to invite Professor Dr. Zainal Salam. And as the moderator, we would like to invite Dr. Muhammad Ridwan Ahmad. For Professor Dr. Zainal Salam, please proceed to the stage.
So we will be here for the first keynote speaker, Professor Zainal Salam from University Technology Malaysia. So I would like to invite him to give the speech now. Please come.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My dear respected friends, elders, also professors, distinguished guests, keynote speakers and directors from UNSRI. I'm very pleased to be here, to be with you in this conference. Actually, I was invited 2 years ago to be the first keynote speaker for the first conference, but I couldn't make it. So Dr. Berbagi was calling me again. So this year you must come. All right. So quickly, I will just tell you my background. Actually, I was from electronics. When I started my work, I was microelectronics. But throughout the years, I changed my field to power electronics, getting bigger. And then now I left power electronics also, and I'm concentrating most of my work in energy systems, especially in solar photovoltaic, solar PV. Right. My talk today basically will be on a very general, to give an overview, because I was made to understand that most of the delegates here are not in the same background. Some are in electronics, some in computer science, so I shouldn't go very deep into the subject, rather an overview, right? So that you can appreciate this technology. So I'll be speaking about the prospects and challenges that we expect to see in the near future and the long future about this technology, solar photovoltaic. So the line of a lecture, basically, I will give a little bit of fundamentals of photovoltaics, a very brief one, non-scientific one. And then what are the key drivers for the growth of this technology? challenges? What are the things that sort of slow down this growth of these systems? And I also talk about the PV research. What is the future in research, especially for us in university? We are interested mostly in doing research. And we see some conclusion and some reflections on my talk. Before that, of course, some advertisement, right? So, University Technology Malaysia, of course, some of you know this university already, and perhaps some of you have seen it. Colleagues are studying there before. So it's located in Johor Bahru. There's 2 hours away from here, right, by boat. Of course, we have the old campus in KL, a smaller one, but the big one is in Johor Bahru. And this is our campus, the main building. We have 10 faculty and schools, right? About 2,200 faculty members. It's a very big number for quite a small university in terms of population. I was meant to understand that in Untri, like we have 36,000 students. So we are half of the number. And our university is ranked in QS in 2020 at 217 in the QS ranking. So it's not so great, not so bad. So somewhere in the middle. And you can think about it, there are thousands and thousands of universities in the world. So 217 is not a bad number at all. It's a main campus in Johor Bahru, very green. We've got the lake, I think somebody seen it. Main buildings. Okay, that's it. Small advertisement, right? Okay, let's see some fundamentals of photovoltaic, right? So I hope I will not drag you too much. I'll just give some brief overview of what this technology is all about. Right, actually there's plenty of energy from the sun. Plenty of energy from the sun. So if you think about it, the whole world, from the sun itself, it was estimated there is incoming solar power is about 174 petawatts. Petawatts, right? So what is petawatts? Petawatt is 10 to the 15 watt, or 10 to the 9 megawatt, or 10 to the 6 gigawatt, right? So for those in power system, they can understand these numbers. So in perspective, what is these numbers means in Malaysia, TNB, right? Tenaga Nasional, your PLN, right? Supplies majority of power in Malaysia, maybe 60% of the power in Malaysia generation is only 9 gigawatt, right? 9 gigawatt. So you can see there is 1 million gigawatt of power available from the sun. So actually you can power the whole world many times more, right? From the sun itself. From the sun itself. Okay? But some of the sun, some of the energy, right, will be absorbed by the atmosphere, reflected by the clouds, right, and so on. But still expect to have about 89 petawatts on the surface of the earth. It's a matter of you, matter of us, how to use this energy. How to use this energy. Why is it moving? I think I forgot about it. All right. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so how you get the power from the sun? How you use the power? There are two ways, basically, to use the power. One is to use solar thermal, right? Basically what you do, right? You convert the solar power to heat and you run turbines. So that is a very common way you heat up water and put it to turbine, so you can get electricity. So we call it hot water production, or you can sit it on the roof, smaller scale, to heat water for domestic use. The other one is called solar photovoltaic. So it's a different thing actually, different concept altogether. The photovoltaic, you convert, right, the sun power, the solar power directly into electricity, right, using what is called photovoltaic effect, PV effect. So two different things, right? So the first one is like we have a turbines, and the second one direct from mechanical, from sun to electrical. So we are talking about the second one, okay? It's not my subject. So the first one is different technology altogether. So before you can understand what it is, so first of all, some terms I have to introduce to you. Not very complicated, I can understand it. So first is called sun irradiance. What is sun irradiance? Sun irradiance, in a scientific sense, the density of radiation incident in 90 degrees, right? Incident, right? On a given surface, So it is measured in watt per square meter. Watt per square meter. So simply, right? If I have a square, 1 meter by 1 meter, any place on the face of the earth, anywhere outside there, 1 meter by 1 meter. So 1,000 watt per square meter means 1,000 per square meter means, right? This square receives 1,000 watt. 1,000 watt of power at any time. Okay? So now you can outside, now at the moment, I can see this is about 500. This is about 500 watt per square meter. Like you have bright sun in the afternoon, you will have like 1,000, 1,100 watt per square meter. In the evening, right, near Maghrib, you have about 300 watt per square meter. Okay? So actually there's plenty of power out there, actually, plenty of power. So it's a matter how we want to get this power from the sun. So how to get the power? We use what is called solar cell, or simply we call solar module. Module means cells connected together become a module like this. You can buy this cell, right? 1 meter by 1.5 meter is standard, right? It costs about maybe between 500 to 800 ringgit, right? It is on the market. You can buy anytime you want, right? So this is the solar cell. So from the solar cell, right, you can calculate the surface area, right? So surface area is 1.5 times 1, which is 1.5 square meter, correct? So this is the surface area that we have for this module. So at standard test condition, we call it, right, STC, assuming that now the sun is in the afternoon, right, 1,000 watt per square meter, bright sun, and the temperature is 25 degrees, which is not realistic, but you have to do some compensation later on. The pressure is 1.5 ATM. Now, if I buy a module, on the market with a 15% efficiency module. I can buy 15%, 20%, whatever you want, up to 25% module efficiency. So the maximum power you can get from this module is simply, right, 1,000 watt per square meter, which is the sun irradiance at the moment, times the square meter, 1.5, times the efficiency is 15.5%. So you will get from this module 240 watts. Right? You will get from this module 240 watts. Just put it at the sun, you get 240 watts. You understand what I'm saying? Right? So which means that if I have plenty of these, I can connect them together, I can have whatever power I want. Of course, right? It depends on your irradiance. So this module has some problem because it's made from silicon, right? So he has problem, not problem. I mean, this is the limits of the module, which is first, right? It depends on what is the irradiance coming from the sun. So you have curve like this, and also it depends on the temperature. Another temperature. If the temperature is high, then the power will drop a bit. Right? Because it's silicon. It is silicon. So irradiance and temperature dependence. So the module, the cells are the cells are temperature and irradiance dependence. So this is a map of the world, right? So where is the places where we can put the modules where the sun is the brightest. The sun is the brightest. You can see, of course, right, in the Sahara is the brightest, right? In the European countries, you can see it's not so much. It's a green color, so it's not much. In our area, it's yellow, orange, so not bad, not bad. So actually, in our place like this tropical region is quite good. It's quite good as compared to European countries. Unfortunately, right, most of the installations are in the European countries, which is basically less prospects than us. Okay? Less prospects. So quickly, I just want to show you how the photovoltaic effect works. It's very simple. If you think about it, right? You know LED, right? LED. LED, you put in current, you get lights, right? You get lights. Current, get lights. So it's a reverse of LED. Reverse of LED. So you give light, you get current. That's all. Okay, make it simple like that. You give light, you get current. We call it photovoltaic effect. Basically, it's a diode. It's a diode. Okay. So I just quickly go through this. So think of a PV as a reverse LED. Okay, for you, right, the user, right, the non-scientist, just take it as a reverse LED. You give light, you call it photons, right, and then you get electricity. Okay. So what are the merits of a PV system? What are the advantages of installing PV systems? Of course, it is consistent, will never finish until the sun is still there, so it still have power. Okay? So that means until Qiyamah, inshallah. So no problem. If the sun is there, you still have power. Even the oil is not there, you still have power, because this is a different kind of source. Since it's emission free, there's no carbon dioxide, nothing, right? So there is no fuel burning at all. A quiet operation, right? No moving parts. There's no generators, right? No machines, nothing. So very quiet. Very low maintenance. Actually, no maintenance, okay, except for periodic cleaning. You need to clean it a bit from time to time. Very long lifespan. Normally, a module can last for at least 25 years. 25 years. Right. From cell to power plant. So the small cell you build from silicon, right? And then you arrange them together and make them into modules, right? So one module, mostly like 300 watts, 300 watts, and then connect all the modules into array. So the modules are about 100 to 200 watts, and the array can be very large like this, right? So the example of a 500 watts megawatt power plant, it becomes a power plant, right? So I mean, from small 5 watts, right, you can make it a 500 megawatts, or even 1 gigawatt. So the most common technologies is silicon crystalline, which is the most famous. So it's the most popular used worldwide. The efficiency is about 15 to 22%. Remember the efficiency I showed just now, right? So it depends on the efficiency of the module. The higher efficiency, the more power you can get. Thin film, so this one is slightly cheaper, but the efficiency is low, right? About 15 to 10-15%. It's more suitable for hot climate. There's special technology, for example, multi-junctions, right? Solar paint, the new technology. Basically, you just paint, right? Paint your transparency like your film, and then you just paste it on your wall. You get some electricity, just like you paint newspaper. So this new technology is also there now. That means you can paint anything, your roof or your building, you get some current. They are experimenting this in New South Wales. I was there last few years. I visited the lab. They are making paints, right, for solar. And also thing called concentrators, right, using lenses. So they make some mirrors to make it more concentrated, so get more power from the same area. So what are the applications of solar PV, right? Plenty of them. The first ones are for satellites. The earliest application are for satellites because in the sky, right, you cannot connect any wires, right? So there's no way you can bring electricity from the earth. So you cannot bring fuel, right? Because it's very heavy, expensive to carry that to the sky, to the orbit. So we cannot use what do you call it? Nuclear. It's too dangerous for the astronauts. So then they use the solar cells. Right? Ever since the beginning, they use solar cells. So almost all satellites use solar cells for their power. Okay. By 70, there are more than 1,000 satellites running on solar power. I think now even more. Okay. Other applications for pumping, right? Water pumping in islands, right? Where you have a very limited ability to get a grid. And then to rural areas, right? In the villages where it's not economics to bring in electricity through the grid. And also in we call it oil rigs, right? Offshore platforms. There are many applications, and the solar farms now, we have plenty of them in the world, like ranging from half gigawatt, right, to one. I think now we have not a gigawatt becoming normal now for power plant. Right? Even we have planes now, right, running on solar. No power, no gas, no fuel jet engine, fuel, only the solar and battery and motor. Okay, and it flies. Okay, you can see the solar is on the wings, right? So of course the wing will be quite big. It's a single seater Challenger. A solar impulse 2 they call it. And can you click this one? Can you click for me? You can see there is actually aeroplane going around the world, right? Only with solar. Only with solar. Next time. Only with solar power. A year ago, they did this test, and they managed to round the world, right? No fuel, nothing, only battery, motor, and solar cells. I think they started from Dubai, and they reached back to Dubai. The whole for about a few months they traveled. See the wings, right? It's bigger than the jumbo jet, longer than jumbo jet wings. So it's a single seater. So you can see that the prospect is, inshallah, one day you will travel with, in the sky with solar only. So no problem. So I can have my own solar plane. You can fly anywhere, no fuel, nothing. Okay? All right. So there's a lot of possibilities, right, of solar energy in the future. There are some challenges, but we'll talk about it today. Okay. Also, in the future power grid, right? In the future power grid, I think most of you in power systems understand this. So that in the future, we are talking about smart grid. I mean, in the future, we don't see these big generators anymore, right? So generators will be far, far away somewhere. But locally, in the distribution level, right? You will have a grid which is like everything integrated into this generation distribution in one place. We call it smart grid. And this solar power will be there as part of the generation. So you generate your energy yourself on top of your roof, your parking lots, right? In the field, everywhere, locally, right? Then you have batteries, you have electric vehicles, right? You have storage, so everything is locally done. So it's a future of our systems like this. They're expecting this to happen, I don't know when, maybe in 50 years, 100 years, but now people are working on this technology. All right, okay, so now we go to another section. So what are the keys, drivers for the growth of EV technology? So the first one, of course, is this is the only technology in this world today, right? That have double-digit growth, more than 2 decades. So you can see, only internet can beat this guy, right? Only IoT can beat this growth. But even IoT will not grow like this. 15 to 30% per year. Right? This is one of the big motivation. That means when the growth is there, so people will invest, right? And people will run towards this technology because the growth is consistent for the last 2 decades, 20 years, between 15 to 30%. Okay, even microelectronics, right? The growth is not double digit, right? 10%, 8%, right? IoT may be double digit, but there are few technologies that have these numbers. So the environment, of course, now people are worried about the carbon dioxide, the greenhouses, and the technology now is almost mature, right? And also the economics impact is very great. Also now many countries are taking policies, new policies, right? In order for them to be in the world, society, you have to talk about the environment. So the government has to go to policies. So there are many agreements, right, to force you to do that. For example, the Kyoto Protocol, right, where, I mean, they are not realized, but at least, right, there are people talking about it, the Copenhagen Accord and the Paris Agreement. So all these are concerned over CO2, right, emission throughout the world. Okay, still, right, even with this kind of initiatives, right, you can see that the EV is still a very small section, a very small percentage of the demand. So only about 1% of the power generated is from PV, right? The rest are still belong to fossil and nuclear. So we have a long way to go, right? But of course, I mentioned this now, the prospect is very great. The prospect is very great. When you see technology, you don't see what is the current situation. You see what is the prospect. What is it? Future prospects, right? Now, yes, it's 1%. But in the future, you see the technology, the smart grid, and so on. We expect this technology will grow very quickly. Right? And the cell manufacturers mostly come from China, the biggest manufacturer of cell today, and Malaysia produce quite a bit of cells, right? All right, how the system is connected? Basically, right? You have a module, right? The solar cells, they're connected like that. And then you have a converter. We convert your DC because the solar will give you DC, convert from DC to AC, and they connect to the your grid, right? Using circuit breakers. So this is the standard systems connected all over the world, right? From solar cell, inverter to your grid. But sometimes you also have a standalone, which means that you don't have a grid. So this example will be, for example, in the island, right? You don't have a grid, or in remote areas, you don't have a grid. So you directly connect your solar to your equipments, right? Using inverter directly without the grid. All right. In terms of cells. Now, this is a very important graph that's published every year by NREL. NREL is, you can think of it like NASA, right? Like NASA for renewable energy. National Renewable Energy Lab in America. So they conduct study every year. They will update the values of the cell efficiency. Now you can see the state of art last year, right? So you can see the efficiency now can go to up to 46%. 46%. But of course, this is laboratory numbers. You can have efficiency like 27% for crystalline, but of course, in the market, they will sell it at about 20%. Right? 20% efficiency in the market. So 20% efficiency means I put my panel, right, on the ground with sun 1000. I'll get 200 watts. I'll get 200 watts for a 1 meter by 1 meter panel. I will get 200 watts with 10% efficiency. If I have 46%, I put my panel on the ground, the sun at 1000 watt per square meter, I will get 460 watts. Okay? Also, we have organic cells nowadays, right? Using organic materials, so the efficiency is very low, but in the future it will be very important. So this report every year you can get this from NREL every year. They publish this number. And the efficiency system also becoming very high now, and the price also is reducing. So now it's a very conducive environment. Price is going down, right? Efficiency is going up. So it's very good time to build a system. So in America, what's the price, right? So you can see most of it come from the modules and a bit from the inverter. It's similar to the Malaysian condition. For commercial, a bit less price, okay, than the residential. So what is the price in Malaysia now? I cannot say for Indonesia. For Malaysia, right, for a system, right, complete, right, from module, everything connected to the grid with the manpower, with the bank loan and everything, right? Roughly, right? About 7 ringgit per watt. 7 ringgit. Okay. When I start my work last 20 years, it was 30 ringgit per watt. Right? 30 ringgit per watt. Last 20 years, it was 30 ringgit per watt. Now it's 7 ringgit per watt. And how long you can get your money back? If I install a system, right? How long I take my money back to pay for the system? For Malaysia, it's about 7 years. What? 7 years. You see, when I put up a system on my roof, right? I can back all my money in 7 years. And the next 25 minus 7, right? Which is about what? 25 minus 7? Right? 12 years? No, more than that. Well, 15 years, right? 18 years, I will get free electricity. Free electricity. Okay? Because I paid up all my system within about 7 years. With the Malaysian tariff now. Malaysian tariff and the cost of the system, now I can get all my money back within 7 years. And the next 15 years, free electricity. Free electricity. Okay, the price of modest dropped as well. Okay, what Malaysia did, okay, I need to share, like what Malaysia industry did for it, because this technology was very expensive before. So we have to have some government policies to help it to move on. Otherwise, nobody will install it. It was expensive. So in the early initiatives, right, we have set up, right, what is called national RE policy. It's a must, right? Because without this policy, without the government coming into the picture, right, private industry will not get it. Why? Because you need to connect this to electricity line, right? You need to connect this to electricity line, the PLN line, TNB line. And if there is no act or no law that allows, right, you to connect to the grid, then what can you do? What can you do? Right? I generate electricity, but I cannot sell. So the government must come in and say, PLN, TNB, you must buy from these guys. You need a law for that. You need a law for that. Okay? So the government is doing RE Act. Where they will force TNB to allow you to connect and pay as a generator. Okay, pay you as a generation. And then they have one more act there. All right. Okay, we start off like a project, like a showcase, then become more serious, and we introduce what's called feed-in tariff. Okay, I think all Malaysians know this, right? What is feed-in tariff? Okay. What time shall I stop, Abu Bakar? What time shall I stop? 10 minutes. I have plenty to say. I told my friend, I said, Professor, stop long time. I said, I will stop. I thought you have to stop me, right? Okay. The feed-in tariff is crucial. It's crucial. So what is feed-in tariff? Okay? Feed-in tariff, simply, right? I become a generator, like a power generator, right? Power generation company, but personal. I put 10 kilowatt on my roof, right? On my roof, and TNB have to buy from me through the Feed-in Tariff Act. They have to buy from me. How much price? About 5 times the normal tariff. You understand? So TNB is paying me 1 ringgit for every unit, whereas I pay only 3 cents to buy TNB power. So then what happened? Right? Of course, I will be able to get my money quickly, isn't it? Correct? But it's a law. It's a law. If I have PV panel, I install on my roof, I can sell to TNB 1 ringgit per unit, per kilowatt hour. If I buy from TNB, I buy 20 cents. This is called feed-in tariff. It's called feed-in tariff. Looks like some imbalance. Yes, it's imbalance. Why? Because you need somebody to pay for the system. Who's paying? Not TNB, right? The TNB not paying. Who's paying? Me and you. All Malaysians are paying. Right? Under your bill is a Malaysian bill. Electricity bill. You got this. You can see that? Kumpulan Wang Tenaga Boleh Baharu, renewable energy money. This is, right, 1.6% of your bill every month. The whole country is paying. The whole country is paying for a person who put in their modules on the roof. That means if my bill is 100 ringgit a month, I have to pay 100 1 ringgit 16 cent, whatever it is, right? Extra 1.6 cent, 1.6 ringgit every month. Why? To support this feed-in tariff. Is sustainable? Not sustainable. Not sustainable. But you have to do this for short time. This is policy to short time to jumpstart your car, right? To jumpstart your car. Otherwise, nobody will install anything. Nobody will install anything. So I want to install something, incentive for me to install it. Who give incentive? The government. Who give incentive? The public. The money comes from not from the government, from the public. From there. This is one way Malaysian government is doing. But through law in the parliament, okay? Parliament. So I will. But of course, this is not sustainable. After about 15 years, they stop it. Right? Now they go for another stage, which is called large-scale solar project. This one, right? Basically, you build big power systems, right? Big power system, megawatts, right? So that to make sure that the industry is moving. You see, an industry to move, right? You need some investors. So how to make investors come? You have to make projects. This is how that's what they are doing. Big power plants in Malaysia now. Okay. The only solution for this, right? For the technology to grow, right? Without any problem in the future, is to scrap feed-in tariff. Feed-in tariff shouldn't be very long. 10, 15 years, stop it. Right? Why? It's not sustainable. As the number of systems now grow, so public have to pay more, right? It's not sustainable. So what we have now, a thing called net metering. This is sustainable. This is sustainable. Simply, right? I put simply, right? I have generation on my roof, right? Let's say I generate 400 units. I generate 400 units, right? And I buy from the PLN, I use monthly 1,500 units, right? So now I have to pay only 1,500 minus 400. I pay only 1,100 units. Same price. Same price. So nobody's paying anyone. Nobody's paying anyone. So whatever saving I make for the 400 units, I will pay my bank loan. I will pay for my systems. Even with this kind of arrangement, you can pay back your system about 10 years. About 10 years. With Malaysian tariff. Malaysian tariff is 20 cents per unit. About you, I don't know about Indonesia, maybe more than that. So the higher tariff, the faster you can pay your systems. Okay? If your tariff is 40 cents, for example, let me say 40 cents, your tariff, right? 40 cents. I'm sure you can pay within 6 years. Finish your system. And the next 19 years, you get free electricity. You get free electricity. So this is sustainable. Why you need feed-in tariff? To start, to jumpstart. Now Malaysians scrap feed-in tariff. No more feed-in tariff. Now they're going for net metering. For net metering. Okay? And then now another new one, we call it a supply agreement program. This is the latest one from Malaysian government, right? This is like I don't have to own my PV system. Some big guy with big money, they will buy all the system installed for you, right? And then they will connect to PLN, and they get their money from the net metering, and they pay you some money, right? Maybe 20%, right? So you get free money. You just give your roof to them. Give your roof to them. They will install everything. Nothing. You get zero capital. This guy will come and install everything for you. and they will connect to PLN, and they get some money every month from PLN, right? By the net metering, right? The difference. So then they give maybe 20% to you, and the rest they keep to pay for their systems. Okay. So this is the latest one in Malaysia. They are trying to build this kind of investors. They get a monthly leasing fee paid by the person, the investor. So it's a win-win situation for the investor and the user. Who's losing? Who's losing? Of course, PLN, right? PND will be losing because their customers, right, now become generators. So they now become one of the small PLNs. Small PLNs. So what are the challenges, right? Technical, economics. So the price is still quite high. The policy, now this is a big challenge. The government must be very strong, right? So the government is not strong, then it's difficult for them to implement this law, these rules. Okay? And also social, some kind of problem there. Obviously, the sun does not shine all the time. Sometimes the sun is not there. Now it's only 500, 400 watt per square meter, right? Maybe in the evening you have 1,000, and then suddenly the rains go to zero. Right? So it's not that easy to manage, right? Power system like this, right? You cannot expect power system to change every 10 minutes. Power system like to have very stable. You turn on generator, it will last for 24 hours, right? That's the best. But here you have all the time changing, so we have some challenge. So storage battery may be needed, but expensive, right? Difficult to manage, but they are trying. In the future, they call a fuel cell battery, also one solution. And fuel also going up and down the price, and policies, right? So feed-in tariff is not sustainable. So the other problem is in most countries like Malaysia, electricity is subsidized. So it's not the real price. The real price is 32 cents, but we are paying only 23 cents. The government subsidizing about 60% or 50% of the price, which means that the system actually, when you do your net metering, you get less money, right? Because instead of get 32 cents, you only get 23 cents. So somewhat distorted, the price is distorted. Initially, they are subsidized or not with this state? Not subsidized, right? But in Europe and so on, the price is like 40, 50 cents, Malaysian cents per unit. No problem. You can pay your system very quickly. Okay, there are also very small number of industry to manufacture components. So I think, in my personal view, the possible way forward is net metering. Okay, net metering is the way forward. And then subsidized electricity. So we have problem there. And social barriers, what are they? The perception of the people. Like PV is like taking money from the poor and pay the rich, right? Robin Hood is taking money from the rich, paying for the poor. But PV taking money from the poor, paying the rich. This is a perception of the public, especially when you have feed-in tariff. And also in many parts of this world, this developing world, we don't have extra cash to build system. We depend on loans, right? So this is also a problem. But in Western countries, they have extra money to build themselves. So no need to take loan, they build with their extra cash. So for us, we have to take loan to build the system, we have to pay for the interest and so on. So this is another issue. And also in Malaysia, as you know, most of the houses are in flats, right? Condominiums, high rise, so very limited space, right? For you to put the modules on the roof. But for Indonesia, maybe Batam, the house are all low rise, so every house can put roof with the modules, no problem. In Malaysia, it's slightly difficult nowadays because the houses are high rise flats. Okay, so that is the end of my challenges. What are the potential research for us in universities? What are the potential research? I heard that it's not very much in Al-Sunsri. It's 2 minutes. Or negative minutes. Okay. I quickly finish it off, right? So what is the potential? Can we move on? Okay. Actually, PV is a hot research area, right? If you go in this field, so chances are you can get a lot of publications, right? So you can see publication is very high in this area. For journal also, a journal, right? You can see the number of journals. The impact factor of the journals are very high. For the, for example, progressive photovoltaic, right? So you have like 9 impact factor for your journal. So you can see that if you publish in PV cells system, right? So the chances are you can publish in top journals. All right? So there are some dedicated journals, some content of journals that PV, a lot of journals nowadays, right? Top journals on PV. And UTM also we have some work there. We have a solar charging station, right? So I will not show this too much. Okay, conclusions, because time is running out. So actually for many countries, PV is an infant industry, new, right? So now we have good chance. So second, I would say we need a strong political support. The government must put their hands into it. Policies, right? Strong policies. And then we think about the disposable income, how much money you can pay, and net metering in the future. But I think the final analysis, right? This is the bottom line. Public awareness or education on safe environment using green energy will be the inherent driving force. So most likely one day we have no choice, right? But to use something like this to power our world, right? So we cannot depend on fuel anymore, right? Because of the emission. Even today people are very worried about emission. So we can say that in the real future, in the long-term future, so this one is the main power source, right? The RE, especially PV, will be the main power source to cut off the emissions. All right, with that, I thank you very much for your patience. So if you have any questions, I can try to entertain you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Zainal. Okay, so now I think because of the time limitation, we have maybe I can open for only one question. So if anyone has any questions,
I want to share something. It's okay. I know about Indonesia's status. I don't have a statistic on Indonesia, but I think it's still new, as far as I know. So a lot of potentials. Somebody want to go into this field, and I think it's a great field for you. Because the country is very large, a lot of land and space to put modules, right? So in Malaysia, land is very limited. So we are not really into it because of the land. Now we are trying to get some land, but mostly on the roofs. Mostly on the roofs. So Indonesia has great potential for that.
any questions?
Indonesia tanya juga. Okay, no problem. Yeah.
I'm just curious, when you put this installed on the top of the roof, will there be any effect on the household?
Effect in what sense?
Temperature on the
Radiation, what you call it? Like this antenna type radiation. You bring about radiation for your cancer or something? No, not such thing. When you put a roof, basically, right? You just put it on the roof, and then you have underneath is your normal roof, right? Normal roof. You have a technique to put it on the roof, so it's on top of your roof. So there's an airflow underneath, so it's not going to increase the pressure. Actually, it's not we call it melekat. There's some space underneath, so the air will flow, so it's not going to hit your roof. Even then, temperature will be not that high. Underneath is about 40 degrees. Okay.
Very wide area. I'm curious about the lightning other. Lightning struck makes some damage to the photovoltaic in Malaysia.
Oh, lightning.
Lightning.
Yeah. In Malaysia, So far, not many cases are reported, right? But it can be an issue. But just like any structures, you get hit, you get hit. So you're unlucky, then you get hit. It's normal. But I don't think it's a special issue like you will attract other things. So far, there's not much report on that as far as I know. Okay. So lightning is not an issue, it's a normal issue. If it's like it was like anyway, right?
Not a serious issue.
Not a clear issue, not a special issue. Okay, anything you want to share? Yes. Yeah. AC, yes, correct. You need an inverter. No problem. No problem. Actually, you have inverters nowadays, right? Will connect to the grid. Automatic will detect the grid. Automatic, it will make sure that the power factor is maintained, right? So basically, you know that the grid will supply VAR, right? VAR, and also watts. So inverter, because this is the PV, only supply watts. Only supply watts. For generators, will supply VAR and watts to support the system, correct? So inverters, modern inverters, they also make VAR. The inverter make VAR from them. So no problem. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, they make VAR. VAR means you need to support the system due to the machine that you use. So because PV is real power, watts only watts, inverter will make VAR for you. Okay, inverter will make VAR for you. The modern inverters normally have VAR capacity. Okay, yeah. All right. If you want to talk more, can talk more during the break or whatever.
Just for say that if you have many bus connected system, so it means the bus system will increase.
What?
The bus system, the system will increase.
The VAR.
Yes, one.
Yeah. Yeah, the modern system, the modern inverter, right? The modern inverters, they will have like power factor change. They can change power factor, plus minus. Sorry, lagging leading. They can change. So they detect the grid. If there is a need for VAR, they will supply VAR. If there is no need, they supply watts. So they also just like the power system, the generator, the big generator. When they see the line has less VAR, they will create VAR. Similarly, the PV now, the inverter now can do that also. It can do that also, especially the big ones. Even the small ones can do that also. So nowadays, there's no issue. The old days, the inverter has no VAR capability. No, the old days, because those days there's not many systems, right? Few systems, so the effect on the grid is not prominent. Now a system is growing in number, 1 gigawatt, 500
Tapi bukan
megawatt,
sudah
300
disetujui di
megawatt, and so
Indonesia
on.
ini.
So now the
Solar
grid
cell
now
ini.
is, be careful with the grid. The grid now PLN has to be careful to make sure that all supply that come into my grid must be detected. Are they supplying power? Right? So now they force the inverter manufacturers to supply power. Nowadays, I think last 6-7 years, they already imposed. Before when I started my work, there's no such thing. Okay? Now they need it because the number of systems are very high. So you connect 5 megawatts to your grid, surely you will affect your grid, right? Yeah. So then, and also, right, the PV is not like generators. You don't have ramping, you don't have ramping. So you have to take care of renting as well. I mean, you don't understand what I'm saying? Yes, yeah, okay, good. Alright, anything else? I know you're hungry, right? They said hungry man is an angry man. So I better stop before you become angry, right? Chairman? So I have to stop now before you get angry.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Zainal. Okay. So before we invite the next speaker. Okay, I would like to invite Prof. Abu to give the certificate to Prof. Zainal. Okay, so after this, we will have the second keynote speaker, but because of the time, we have some flexibility. You can get your coffee and some snacks outside, okay, and then you can bring inside, and then we get here for the second keynote. Sorry, okay, the snack and the coffee at the back, okay, so you can get that. Okay, so our second keynote speaker is Dr. Wahyu Kasarendra, okay, from Faculty of Integrated Technologies, University Brunei Darussalam. Okay, so this is a relaxed talk. Okay, you can take your coffee and snack while hearing for the keynote speaker. Okay, so Dr. Wahyu, you can start.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm happy that the committee asked you to collect you also because I see the hungry faces on your. Okay, I'm trying to explain my presentation quite interesting. First of all, I would like to say my regards to His Excellency Vice Rector Professor Dr. Insinyur Ahmad Muslim and the chair of this conference, Associate Professor Abu Bakar Siddiq, and also the honorable speakers. Because I'm good in maths, remembering maths, but I'm not good remembering the names. So I good with paper. So. Okay, as you see in my PPT, the title will be the application of.
Sayang, nggak makan juga tuh, belum sarapan. Selain lagi apa kan? Di bawah kan ya?
Okay, I'm back. Sorry for the technical issue. There's a battery problem. Okay, I'm going to present about the application of machine learning because this conference is related to computer science. For smart manufacturing for industry 4.0. Actually, I'm from the University, Physical System from Salim BBD. Okay, this is I think my similar to Professor Salam Sahabat. I also would like to advertise a bit about the UBD. Just one slide. UBD currently, actually the UBD is only 52 years old, below than 50 years old, established in maybe 83. I'm older than UBD. I was born in 82. UBD was established in 83. So I'm older 1 year. But my faculty is in FIT, Faculty of Integrated Technologies, is developed in just recently 2013. We have this Berbagi. We have about 14 staff in the FIT, and the curriculum is adopted from the Stephen Institute of Technology USA. We have this faculty doesn't have like a major. Actually, we only offer about Bachelor of Engineering. So we accepting from other faculty members from mechanical, electrical, computer science, chemical, any discipline come to this faculty to develop like innovative curriculum. So we have 14 staff. I'm a mechanical engineering, and currently we are preparing for a certification. Hopefully, this will be granted in the end of this year. And UBD is to the rank 298 in 2020 in the QS World Ranking, and then just recently joined the PSE World University Ranking in between 4,000 under 500. Okay, maybe just would like to, because I'm in the multidiscipline area. Maybe some of you we can have a conversation next in the future. I'm from the mechanical engineering Berguru University. My topic is about FIP. I did my mechatronics and control system, and I did my Master of Engineering in Pukyong National University, South Korea. Changed from the mechatronics to the machine learning, and I did PhD in Australia in about signal processing. And just recently, before I joined UBD, I was working with the NTU as a postdoc fellow in 2017 to 2018. What you can see from this, my discipline, I'm not like specific to particular area. I can like maybe there is some quote here. What you need, I can provide. Maybe Indonesia needs like a palu gada. Apa lu minta, gua ada. Maybe secara cantik. Okay, this to SBG. So if in the future we would like to have a collaboration either in machine learning, robotics, mechatronics, signal processing, anything related to my area, we can have some collaboration. I'm not sure that I need to explain about this. I think you all because from computer science. Maybe because I'm technical, I just would like to explain that machine learning is actually the topic of the method to represent or to analyze the drop data into useful information. Yeah, I think it's basic. I don't know why it's this not clear. Okay, from data we use machine learning. We can do some prediction. This is the basic flow in the machine learning. But inside the machine learning, there are several methods. I think all of you already know about this. And also, I believe that in this group, all of you have been aware that we are reaching the industry 4.0. So industry 1.0 is like starting from the mechanization of all physical systems, and the source is coming from the steam and water. Next to the industry 2.0, we start to have a mass production with better assembly line and more source of the electrical power. Continue to 3.0 is about the automation, and computer is introduced in here. So you are like a have contribution in this part. And the next is 4.0. I would not want to explain in like a theory, I would like to give you some practical application about industry 4.0. This is the real flowchart in Rolls-Royce air test company, because when I was do the postdoc in a test the Rolls-Royce company in Singapore. I think Professor you know about the Seletar, yeah. I coming back from NTU to the Seletar many times. So this is the manufacturing flowchart in the Rolls-Royce. Sorry, we start the measuring process. We do some initial measurement on the part, and then we mounted the work open to the robot, ABB robot, do some manufacturing to finishing process, and then demounting again, and then we do some measurement. So in this case, you can see there is a human interference here. So my part in the 2 years would like to remove this block with embed some machine learning method. So you can see from here, and then if the measurement is achieved, you can go to the next process. But if not achieved yet, you need to go back to the initial measurement. It's like repetitive and needs some expert to measure and some human interference and time consuming as well. So my part, because we are hiring the machine learning specialist, me as the project leader, so I need to remove these two blocks by using the machine learning application. Just last night, I just see when I finishing my speech, I see my Facebook, and I saw my colleagues, Professor Agus Budiono. Maybe some of you know about Professor Agus Budiono. He mentioned about 5 predicted jobs maybe in the future in Indonesia. I will not explain 1 and 4 and 5. I would like to just focus on the 2, number 3. Number 2 is we will have like a machine learning new job in this area in the world. That we will have like a machine learning specialist. And number 3, you can see this is also your role as a computer science engineer or computer scientist. Currently, we have like a 70% of jobs doing by human, and the rest is 29% is doing by machine. Maybe he predicted that Prof. Agus Budiono, maybe in the couple of years, it will be changed. Maybe the human interference or human role will be getting less, and the machine and algorithm will be getting higher. So in here, like I mentioned before in the last slide, I would like to remove this block by using the embedded machine learning method. We can see. So my role is 2 parts. This is the engine of the Airbus A320. We call this engine the Trent 700, made by Rolls-Royce. This is the one number 1 is the boss hole, and number 2 is a fan blade. These two parts is my project. So this is like a machining here, surface finishing, and also this is there is a surface machining. The flow chart of here is like I explained before. There is some manual measurement. Although they use an ABB robot, but to measure the quality of the surface and also the material removal, they use human. And I would like to introduce like a sensor, a sensor with the machine learning method. So here we call debarring. Debarring will remove anything from the manufacturing process, and we call polishing to surface to finish the surface of materials. So these 2 processes we would like to improve the quality of the process. So this is I think you can just do it because I think all of you from manufacturing maybe. Is there any manufacturing people here? You will know about debarring. So debarring just remove a part of the manufacturing work coupon. And this is the real Trend 700 engine. We call the boss hole. The boss hole is the part that will attach to the ignition system. So this part have to be very precise. So we be careful about this. The whole everything is supposed to be. And this is the one that not we, Rolls-Royce get previously done. There's a work coupon here. There's a manufacturing here. The hole will be buried with the robot, and then we will measure the chamfer length using the manual ultrasonic handheld, and we measure the chamfer length and any parameter using gate gun. Once it has not been achieved, you need to go back again to do this similar thing. This is like a repetitive one, and we would like to remove this process. And now I introduce about the machine learning using LabVIEW. We use LabVIEW here, and then we coding the like a fuzzy logic inside the LabVIEW. And once there is a sensor here, accelerometer sensor will be attached to the work coupon. The accelerometer will acquire the vibration signal, and the machine learning part will translate this vibration signal into the output parameter. For example, like sample length or marginal removal rate. So we use the machine learning inside the LabVIEW. And we use this as the CAD, and we will see the result. Okay, this is the actual experiment. Before we do the LabVIEW, we have a offline calculation using MATLAB. Yeah, this is better. For example, we use 3-axis accelerometer. 3-axis means the signal can be acquired from the X direction, Y direction, and Z direction. So we have 3-axis accelerometer. And each direction will have 5 because we do until 5 times the manufacturing process 5 times. You can see from here, you cannot identify which one is the press number 1, this is press number 1, press number 2. Press means how many deburring steps. This is press 1, and then again press 2, and then until 5 times. So in machine learning, we will identify the feature of this vibration signal, and this feature will training, and then we will get the model, and then the new data coming in will be predicted as the chamfer length. Okay, this is I think the highlight of my method. So you can see from here this database raw vibration signal. So we calculate the features here using the wavelet decomposition and p-wells. And once we get the features, we go to I use ANFIS, Adaptive Neuro-Fuzzy Inference System, as a machine learning method. You can see from here, from vibration signal, from naked eye, you cannot identify which one is press number 1, press number 2, press number 3, and so on. But actually, in chamfer length, they are decreasing. From press number 1 has a thickness about 7 point something millimeter, and they are decreasing until 7 point something millimeter. So, but in vibration signal, you cannot see. Once you analyze this signal into the feature and you plot it in 3-dimensional figure, you can see the difference between the press number 1 of the feature until press number 5 of the feature. So we will use this feature in the ANFIS, and ANFIS will get the model, and then next time when we have the new data coming in, the raw signal, they will understand this data is belong to this particular chamfer length. Okay, this is the example again. You can in the zoom out version. From press number 1 to press number 5 is moving. The pattern is moving. It's easily to detect and easily to see. And this the chamfer length thickness also increasing the radius. This is the flowchart of the overall the machine learning. We have ANFIS here. ANFIS is like a combination from ENN and fuzzy logic. ANFIS, and then we can see this prediction. Out of 5 times prediction, we have 2 error. So you can calculate 2 by 15 times 100% is maybe about 80 something, 85%. It's not bad for the 85% maybe just for the first case is okay. The second process policy using in the FANLab. So we did similar things in the flowchart. We measure the thickness of the fan blade before do some measurement. Before do some manufacturing process, and then we do the polishing here. This is polishing machine. polishing using the abrasive belt using ABB. We measure the thickness and take off the water point. You can see from here. So now we would like to remove this measurement by human. So we similar things that we attach accelerometer here on the alien head of the ABB robot. We got the effervescence signal. We measure the features as well, and then we put the features into the NFIS structure, and finally we then develop the monitoring device in IQ. Then finally we will get the number of the thickness of the fan blade. I think I will show you the video. Yeah, I think it's the last of my presentation. This video. Okay, this is the user interface of IQ we developed, and then this is the ABB robot. This is fan blade of the Trend 700. So we will see number here. Number will like we call this like in process sensing because we can measure the thickness during the manufacturing process. We don't need about the mounting this again because it's very heavy, 20 kg, and also something maybe some you cannot. Bisa dibuka, Mas. You can see from here, once the belt touching the fan blade, the vibration signal appear here. This is raw vibration signal. But then we attach some sensor inside here. This is the raw signal, and we have machine learning inside this user interface. And sorry about there's something here, the number here. So the number here, this point. This number indicate that the thickness of the fan blade during the manufacturing process. So I successfully applied machine learning in the real-time process, and they're quite heavy, but the accuracy, to be honest, I say it's less than 90 at the moment. We need to improve maybe in the next time maybe using another machine learning. I think you can see from here this number, because in fan blade we don't have to measure all surface. We just take about 14 points on the fan blade that represent the thickness of the fan blade enough. So we have 14 points. You can imagine that if 14 points measure 10 times, because they would like to repeat the statistical requirement. One fan blade measure for 14 points, and 1 point have to be measured with the 3 people. So they will assure that the quality is good. But I already compared between the actual thickness, because we also measure the actual thickness as well. With the prediction thickness is not far away, maybe the error about 10%, but still okay. We need to, but we want to apply to the real case, we need to develop again to push the accuracy. This is the, you can see the predicted here is the prediction 2.4, and then the actual one 2.2 is not too big difference. I think according to this discussion, you know that machine learning is quite developed at the moment. I think we just see about the theory, everything, but now I already show you that the machine learning can be applied to the real case. I think just waiting before the stop. Maybe if you have a question, this is the last of my presentation. Question.
Okay, so for now we are open for any questions. If you have any questions.
Yes, please, Professor.
For the process of training,
Yes.
then the real time, how the capturing the recording of the previous data in seconds and how much is enough for the training?
I think this is a good question because this is the core of this project. I think in machine learning, you know that there are two types, like supervised and unsupervised. I use supervised machine learning method because I use the target. The target is the actual. We have for example, we have five fine blade before. 5 fine blade. We measure the thickness. Also, we measure the vibration signal. So at the time during the training, we have fine blade samples, and then we have the raw signal. Also, we have the feature expression, and then we have the target. So the end phase, yeah, will correlate between these features with this actual thickness. And for the fine blade number 6, we don't need the target anymore. We remove the target, but we already have the model. This model is embedded to the lab view, and then new raw vibration signal coming to the lab view, and lab view machine learning will understand that this signal is this thickness measurement. Already there, yeah. What we did is like we developed in MATLAB the model, but the model is embedded to the lab view. Any other question from computer science? I'm from mechanical engineering, but I can learn machine learning. Machine learning. I'm expecting one question from the real computer science people. Because you can see that I'm from mechanical engineering, but I learned machine learning and I did it successfully applied. I expect one question from the computer science people, maybe. You always make your food.
Okay. Any questions, guys? Okay, especially from computer science background, right? Dr. Reza, do you have any questions? Okay, so I think so we give a big applause to our second speaker, Dr. Wahyu. Okay. So I'd like to invite Prof. Abu Bakar. Okay, to give the certificate to our second keynote speaker, Dr. Wahyu. So by that, basically, we end this session. Okay, and next event will be started at 11 o'clock. So the next event will be started at 11 o'clock. Okay, the parallel session. Okay, so the next session will be conducted in the first floor. Okay, and the lunch will be at the restaurant, at the hotel restaurant. And tonight we will have gala dinner. I think around 7 o'clock at the swimming